Welcome to our channel English Avenue, the place where you don't just learn English, you learn how to change your life. Today, I want to talk about something that can unlock your future. Something that can help you learn faster, think better, and speak more clearly. Something that most people never master, and because of that, they stay stuck, lost, and confused for years. That something is the power of a focused mind. Focus means you are fully present. You are not jumping from thought to thought. You are not distracted by noise, notifications, or unnecessary worries. Focus means you know what matters, and you give it your complete energy. When your mind is focused, you don't just work faster, you live better. Before I give you the powerful tips, let me explain why focus is everything. Focus equals freedom. You may be walking around, scrolling on your phone, going to school or work, but inside you feel tired, lost, stuck. That's not freedom, that's noise. A focused mind gives you clarity, direction, peace. You know what to do. You're not confused. You feel in control. Focus is not a rule. It's a form of freedom. And once you feel it, you will never want to go back to a scattered mind. Let's talk about the real difference between successful people and everyone else. It's not talent. It's not money. It's not luck. It's focus. Focused people finish what they start. Give full attention to their goals. Say no to distractions. Respect their time and mind. Unfocused people start 10 things, finish none, get lost in their phones, feel tired all day, forget why they started. If you don't train your focus, you will slowly forget who you are. Focus is not a gift. It's a muscle. You can train it, just like your body. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. But if you don't use it, it becomes weak. This part is about simple, small things you can do every single day to build your focus like a habit, not once a week. Not when you feel motivated, but daily. Because when focus becomes a habit, success becomes automatic. You now understand why focus matters, how it works, how it changes your brain, your energy, your English, and your life. Now, it's time to go deeper. Let me give you 7 simple, powerful tips that will help you build a focused mind starting today. And yes, everything will be easy, clear, and powerful. Tip 1. Calm your mind before you begin. Let's face a hard truth. You can't focus if your mind is full of noise. You can't grow if your brain is always jumping. And you can't improve anything if your thoughts are scattered like dust in the wind. This is the mistake most people make. They think they need more motivation, more videos, more information. But the real thing they need is a calm, clear mind. Because when your mind is calm, you begin to see clearly, think deeply, and act wisely. That's why this is tip 1. Because without calmness, every other skill becomes weak. Let's imagine your mind is a whiteboard. If the whiteboard is clean, you can write anything clearly. But if the whiteboard is already full of random words, drawings, old ideas, and messy lines, how can you write something new? You can't. That's what happens to your brain every day. Your thoughts are already full of fear, stress, comparison, pressure, regret, and doubt. So when you try to learn something or focus on something important, your mind has no space. You feel tired. You feel overwhelmed. You feel like you're trying, but nothing is working. It's not your fault. It's your state of mind. And here's the truth. Focus does not begin with effort. It begins with stillness. Let me give you a perfect example. There was a man named Raymond. He had a great idea for a business. He had the passion, the skills, the reason. But every time he sat down to work, he couldn't concentrate. His mind kept wandering. He'd think about bills, about mistakes, about the future, about other people doing better. Even though he was sitting at his desk, his mind was running everywhere. He'd get nothing done. Day after day, week after week, he felt stuck, angry, lost. One day, his mentor told him something powerful. Your brain is like a phone. You keep opening apps, but never closing them. That's why your battery is always low. And that's exactly what was happening. His mind had too many tabs open, too many old thoughts, too many distractions, too many mental notifications. His problem wasn't time. His problem wasn't ability. His problem was noise. So what did he do? He stopped everything for just 10 minutes every morning. He sat down, closed his eyes, took 5 deep breaths, and focused only on this thought. What's the one thing that matters right now? He didn't check his phone. He didn't plan his day yet. He just cleared the whiteboard. And in a few days, his mind felt different. In a few weeks, his work became faster, clearer, more powerful. In a few months, his business took off, not because he became smarter, but because he became still. Your brain is always listening, and if you wake up and immediately feed it chaos, it will stay chaotic all day. But if you teach your brain to slow down, if you show it how to breathe, focus, and pause before action, it will work with you, not against you. A calm mind is like clean water. You can see through it. You can move through it. You can drink from it. A noisy mind is like a storm. You can't see. You can't think. You feel lost. Before you start any important task, do this. Sit in silence for just 1 minute. Close your eyes. Breathe in slowly through your nose, and breathe out gently through your mouth. Say to yourself, this moment matters. I am calm. I am here. That's it. This small pause tells your brain, now we begin. Now we give our full attention. It's like turning off all background music before watching a powerful film. Now your mind is ready. Now focus is possible. You try to focus, but your thoughts are everywhere. You try to improve, but your emotions keep interfering. You try to work hard, but you feel blocked inside. It feels like something is fighting you. But the truth is, you're fighting your own thoughts. And that's why you burn out. That's why you give up. That's why you say, why can't I stay focused? If your mind is not calm, your life will always feel loud. You won't enjoy your progress. You won't feel proud of your work. You won't grow, not because you can't, but because your mind won't let you. But the moment you choose calmness, everything changes. You begin to feel in control again. You begin to feel energy return. You begin to enjoy the moment, not rush through it. Because a calm mind is a focused mind. And a focused mind can build anything. Tip 2. Focus on the present moment. Most people are not living in the present. They are living in the past, thinking about mistakes, regrets, and old memories. Or they are lost in the future, worrying about things that haven't even happened yet. But here's the truth. You can only change your life in one place. The present moment. Not in your memories. Not in your future plans. Not in your imagination. Only here, only now. That's why your ability to stay present is not just a soft skill. It is a superpower. You try to work, but your mind says, what if I fail? What will people think? Why did that happen to me? What if this doesn't work? Your body is here, but your brain is everywhere. This is why you feel mentally tired after doing almost nothing, because your attention is running around like a child with no direction. But when you are truly in the moment, you feel calm, you feel powerful, you feel awake. You hear every sound more clearly. You feel every movement more deeply. You begin to see your life instead of just thinking about it. And that's when you focus. That's when real learning begins. That's when you create your future. Because now you're inside the only moment that's real. Let's talk about a race car driver. Imagine a driver is going 300 kilometers per hour on a track. If he starts thinking about his last race, or what the audience is thinking, or what might happen later, he crashes. Because at that speed, the only way to survive is to be 100% present. 1 second of distraction equals destruction. Now listen closely. You may not be driving a race car, but your life is moving fast. And if your mind is not focused on what's in front of you, you'll crash too. Maybe not physically, but emotionally, mentally, spiritually. That's why the ability to return to the present moment is not optional. It's urgent. Being present doesn't mean ignoring the past or future. It means you give your full attention to the moment you're in right now. It means when you're eating, you're eating. When you're talking, you're listening. When you're working, you're focused. When you're resting, you're not scrolling. You are not half here, half somewhere else. You are whole. And that's when you feel peace. That's when you feel alive. When your brain is in the past, it feels regret. When it's in the future, it feels fear. But when it's in the present, it feels clarity. Science shows that being present reduces stress, improves focus, and increases happiness. But more importantly, it helps you make better decisions. Because when your mind is in the now, you can actually see what matters. Here's what you can do every day to bring your mind back. When you notice your thoughts drifting, just pause. Take a deep breath. Feel the air enter and leave your body. Look at your surroundings. Touch something near you. Ask yourself, what am I doing right now? Can I give this moment my full attention? Even doing this for 10 seconds trains your brain to come back home. When you ignore the present moment, you miss your growth. You miss your clarity. You miss your power. You live in guilt or anxiety, but never in truth. And most importantly, you waste the only thing you actually own. This second, this breath, this opportunity. You'll keep thinking, someday I'll be ready. One day I'll be focused. Tomorrow I'll start. But tomorrow never comes. Only now is real. And if you don't train your brain to live in now, you'll always be almost living but never fully awake. When you become fully present, you stop overthinking. You stop comparing. You stop rushing. You stop regretting. And in that space, your confidence grows, your focus grows, your energy grows. You feel lighter, but more powerful. You do less, but achieve more. You think less, but understand better. Because you are finally in control of the one thing that controls everything. Your attention. You don't need more hours in the day. You need to be more inside the hour you already have. Tip 3. Remove distractions before you begin. You can't win if you're always being pulled away from the game. You sit down with the best of intentions. You say to yourself, today I'll focus. Today I'll work hard. Today I'll do it right. But 5 minutes later, you hear a sound. Your phone lights up. You get a message. You check something. Just for a second. Then another. and another. Before you know it, 40 minutes are gone. You're tired, unfocused, and you forgot what you were even doing. What happened? It wasn't laziness. It wasn't lack of motivation. It wasn't failure. It was one simple but deadly enemy: distraction. You don't need more focus. You need fewer interruptions. That's the real secret. Most people think they're failing because they're not disciplined enough. But the truth is, they've built a life where focus is impossible. The phone is always on. The notifications never stop. The environment is loud. The brain is overloaded. They are trying to run fast, but holding 1,000 ropes pulling them backward. If you want to go deep, if you want to truly focus, you must first cut those ropes. You must remove the distractions before you begin. Imagine a chef working in a 5-star kitchen. He's cooking a beautiful dish, something that requires timing, focus, precision. Now imagine that every 2 minutes, someone walks into the kitchen and asks him a question. Then his phone rings. Then someone plays music loudly. Then a delivery guy comes in. Then someone turns off the lights. Then he checks Instagram. What happens to the dish? It gets ruined. Not because the chef is bad, but because the environment is wrong. Now pause. You are that chef, and the dish you're preparing is your dream, your goal, your focus. If you don't protect your environment, if you don't remove interruptions, even the best plan will fail. You may think, it's just a quick message, I'll come back. But science says, every time you get distracted, your brain takes 20 to 25 minutes to fully return to deep focus. Yes. Even a small distraction costs you almost half an hour of clear thinking. Now imagine how much mental power you lose every day from notifications, background noise, random scrolling, constant switching between apps or tabs. Your brain gets tired, not because you worked hard, but because you never gave it silence. They don't wait to be motivated. They don't rely on willpower. They design their space for focus. They prepare before they begin. Here's what that means. They turn off all notifications. They keep their phone out of reach. They close all unnecessary tabs. They tell others, I need 1 hour with no disturbance. They use quiet, clean, clear environments. They don't let the world control their attention. They protect it like it's gold. And that's why they get results faster with less stress, because they're not multitasking. They're deep working. Right before you sit down to do something important, ask yourself, what is going to distract me in the next 30 minutes? Can I remove it before it starts? Then take action. Silence your phone or put it in another room. Use a notebook to write down intrusive thoughts and deal with them later. Use noise-canceling headphones or work in silence. Let people around you know you're not available for the next hour. Create a small focus zone, even just a quiet corner with no screens. This is how you prepare your mind to go deep. This is how you build concentration that lasts. If you skip this step, you'll feel like you're trying hard, but making no progress. You'll be working for hours, but producing very little. You'll keep switching from task to task, but finishing nothing. You'll feel anxious, irritated, and tired, but you won't know why. And then you'll blame yourself. You'll say, why can't I focus like other people? But the truth is, you could. You just didn't shut the door before trying to work. You let the noise walk in with you. When you work in silence, when your phone is out of reach, when you give your brain one job and one job only, something amazing happens. Your thoughts become clearer. Your energy lasts longer. You start enjoying the task. You enter the flow state, where time disappears, and you're fully inside the moment. That's where real work happens. That's where real growth begins. That's where your mind becomes a weapon. But to reach that state, you must remove the enemy first. And that enemy is distraction. Don't just sit down and hope to focus. Sit down and prepare to focus by protecting your mind from interruption. Tip 4. Break learning into small parts. Most people fail not because they're not smart, not because they're not hardworking, but because they try to do too much too fast. They see a big goal, and they want to jump to the finish line. They want to skip the steps. They want instant results. They want to go from 0 to 100 in 1 week. They want success in one shot. But life doesn't work that way. Growth doesn't work that way. The brain doesn't work that way. Imagine a person who wants to get strong. He goes to the gym, but instead of starting with 2 kilograms, he tries to lift 100 kilograms on the first day. He fails, he gets hurt, he feels embarrassed, and he never goes back again. Why? Because he wanted to win before he was ready. He wanted the reward without the routine. He didn't understand this simple truth. You don't get strong by lifting heavy things. You get strong by lifting small things consistently. This is how every powerful person becomes who they are. They don't do everything in one day. They take one step, one brick, one breath, one lesson, one challenge, and then another and another, until one day they look back and realize they have become what they once feared, not because of luck, but because they respected the process. When you try to learn everything at once, you burn out. When you try to do everything at once, you get confused. When you try to climb the whole mountain in one day, you fall. But when you break things down, when you take your goal and divide it into small, doable parts, suddenly everything becomes possible. Think of a giant wall. Now imagine you're told to build it. You panic. I can't build a wall. It's too big. I don't know how. But then someone says, forget the wall. Just lay one brick today. Just one perfect brick. That's it. And you do it. Next day, one more brick. Next day, one more. Day after day, one brick. And soon, the wall is there. And you built it. That's how success is built. Not by giant leaps, but by small daily layers. Your brain loves small tasks. Your body loves small routines. Your mind grows faster when it's not under pressure. That's why this tip is so powerful. Break your learning, your goals, your growth into small pieces you can do consistently, and you will win. Your brain works best when it focuses on one thing at a time. It needs clarity. It needs structure. It needs the feeling of completion. Every time you finish a small task, your brain rewards you with a chemical called dopamine. That's the brain's way of saying, good job, you did something. And guess what? That small feeling gives you the energy to do more. It builds momentum. It builds self-respect. It builds belief. And those small wins, they become your new standard. If you break your goal into small steps, you will never be overwhelmed again. Because when things feel small, you feel powerful. When things feel manageable, you stay consistent. And when you stay consistent, nothing can stop you. So if you're feeling lost, tired, or stuck, don't ask, how do I finish everything? Ask, what small piece can I do today? Forget the mountain. Find the next step. Forget the masterpiece. Start with one simple line. Forget the 100 miles. Take one strong step, and then another. This tip isn't just about learning, it's about life. Want to change your body? Start with one healthy meal. Want to fix your relationship? Start with one honest conversation. Want to change your habits? Start with one tiny change in your morning. Want to build confidence? Start by doing one thing that scares you. Not everything. Tip 5. Focus on one goal until you finish. Let's be honest. We all start things. We all get excited about new ideas. We all make plans and feel motivated for the first few days. But how many things have you started and never finished? How many times have you said, "I'll do this and that. I'll start tomorrow. I'll try everything at once." And in the end, nothing really gets done? This is the hidden trap of modern life. We start everything, but finish nothing. And the reason is simple. We don't focus on one goal until it's complete. Your mind is like a spotlight. If you shine it on one thing, it becomes powerful. If you shine it on 10 things, it becomes weak. That's what happens when you chase too many goals at the same time. You try to do 5 things. One day this, the next day that. Then you leave it halfway and start something else. And soon, you have 5 unfinished projects, 0 results, 100 reasons to feel tired and disappointed. It's not because you're lazy, it's because your focus is scattered. Think of a person digging for water. He starts digging a hole in one place. After 5 feet, he stops. No water. He moves to a new spot, digs 5 more feet, still nothing. He moves again and again. He digs 10 holes, each 5 feet deep. Still no water. Why? Because water was at 30 feet, but he never stayed in one place long enough to reach it. Now imagine someone else who just keeps digging one hole 3 feet every day in the same spot after 10 days. He reaches water. Not because he worked harder, but because he worked smarter. Because he focused on one goal until it was complete. Your brain is wired for closure. Every time you finish something, your brain rewards you with a burst of energy and motivation. But when you leave tasks half done, your brain stays open like a computer with 50 tabs. You feel slow, heavy, tired, lost. That's why unfinished work causes stress, even if you're not thinking about it directly. So if you want peace, clarity, and real growth, you must start finishing what you begin. Next time you feel excited about something new, ask yourself, have I finished what I started yesterday? Is my energy going to one place or many? Will this new thing distract me from the real goal? Then make a simple rule for yourself. One goal at a time, I don't move forward until this is done. Stick to this rule. No matter how boring it feels, no matter how slow it seems, no matter how tempting other things look. Because finishing one thing is 10 times more powerful than starting 10 things. You become more respected. You become more confident. You stop second-guessing yourself. You get real results. You actually enjoy your progress. And most importantly, you begin to trust yourself again. Because now, when you say, I'm going to do this, you know it's not just a wish. It's a mission. The world is full of starters, but the winners are the finishers. Be the one who finishes. Be the one who sticks with it. Be the one who says, I said I'll do it. So I did. Your focus is your superpower. Don't waste it jumping from one thing to another. Choose your goal, commit fully, and stay until the job is done. Tip 6. Try to understand, not just memorize. Memorizing is remembering for a day. Understanding is remembering for life. Most people are trained to memorize. They repeat things again and again. They try to store words, answers, facts, without truly knowing what they mean. It works for a few hours, maybe a few days. But then, they forget. They get frustrated. They think something is wrong with them. But the truth is, memorizing without understanding is like copying words onto water. They disappear. That's why this tip is not just for better focus. It's for a stronger brain, a smarter life, and long-term growth. Don't just remember what it is. Understand why it matters. Because it's faster. Because it's easier. Because they were told it's the way to succeed in school. But in the real world, nobody wins by repeating facts. The ones who win are the ones who see the meaning behind the facts. Memorization is like building a house with weak paper walls. It looks okay for a moment, but it breaks with pressure. Understanding is like building with bricks. It takes time, but once it's built, it's strong forever. Imagine you're learning how to cook a new dish. You get the recipe, you read it, you follow every line like a robot. But you never ask, why does this ingredient go here? What happens if I cook it longer? What's the role of each step? You just follow. And if something goes wrong, you panic. You can't fix it. You can't change it. You can't explain it. But now imagine someone else. They learn not just the steps, but the reasons. They understand how heat affects flavor. They know which ingredients balance each other. They know what to do if something changes. That person becomes a real chef, not just a recipe repeater. The difference? One person memorized, the other person understood. When you memorize, your brain stores the information in your short-term memory. That's like writing with chalk on the street. One small rain, and it's gone. But when you understand, your brain creates connections. It links old knowledge with new knowledge. It creates meaning. And your brain loves meaning. This moves information into your long-term memory, where it becomes easy to recall, even years later. Ask yourself, can I explain this in my own words? Can I teach it to someone else? Do I know why this matters? Not just what it is? If you can answer yes, you've understood it. If not, you're just repeating someone else's words. Understanding gives you power. Memorizing gives you pressure. Ask yourself questions as you learn. Slow down and think about what the words really mean. Connect it to something you already know. Use stories, visuals, or examples to make it real. Try explaining it out loud to yourself or someone else. This turns dead information into living knowledge if you keep memorizing without understanding. You will. Keep forgetting. Keep getting stuck. Keep feeling confused. Keep losing confidence. And you'll say things like, I studied so much, but I still don't get it. I practiced, but I forget everything the next day. It's not your fault. It's your approach. You're not stupid. You're just copying instead of connecting. When you understand, you own the knowledge. When you memorize, you borrow it. And it's taken away fast. So if you truly want to grow, to focus better, to remember longer, slow down. Ask questions. Search for meaning. Go deep. Don't be the person who just passes tests. Be the person who understands life. Tip 7. Practice regularly. You've learned about calming your mind. You've learned about staying present, removing distractions, finishing what you start, and going deep with understanding. But now comes the final truth. The truth that separates the dreamers from the doers. If you want real focus, real growth, and real success, you must practice it daily. Not sometimes. Not only when you feel motivated. Not once a week. Every single. Day, let me tell you something simple and honest. Your brain is not a machine. It's a muscle. And like any muscle, it gets stronger only through repetition. You cannot expect your mind to focus deeply if you only practice once in a while. You cannot build anything great with random effort. What you do consistently will shape your focus, your confidence, your memory, and your entire future. Think about a musician. He doesn't become great by playing 10 hours in one day. He becomes great by playing 30 minutes every day, over years. His fingers remember the strings. His brain memorizes the patterns. His body and mind begin to move as one. It doesn't happen overnight, but it does happen because he shows up. Every day, every time you practice, you send a message to your brain. This matters. I'm serious about this. Keep improving. And your brain listens. Even if you practice for just 15 minutes, your focus sharpens. Your distractions get weaker. Your thinking becomes faster. Your habits begin to change. That's the magic of regular repetition. You build momentum, and momentum becomes power. What happens without practice? You forget what you learned. You lose motivation. Your mind gets lazy. You blame yourself again. You feel stuck, not because you're not capable, but because you didn't stay consistent. Motivation starts the journey, but daily practice finishes it. Don't wait for the perfect time. Don't wait for motivation. Don't wait until everything feels easy. Just start. Even 10 minutes a day is enough. If you do it with full focus, make a small commitment. Same time every day, same space. One clear task, one goal at a time, no distractions. Make it so small that you can't say no. Because small daily wins become unstoppable power over time. Your focus will last longer. Your brain will enter flow more easily. You'll feel proud of yourself. You'll feel more in control of your time and energy. You'll stop needing motivation because habit will take over. You don't rise to the level of your dreams. You fall to the level of your daily habits. So if you want to build a focused mind, a sharp brain, and a powerful life, don't try to be perfect. Don't try to do everything. Don't try to rush. Just practice. Just show up. Just repeat. Day by day, your mind will become stronger than you ever imagined. That's the final life-changing truth of Tip 7. Practice regularly. And with this, your journey into deep focus begins. You've made it to the end of this video. And that means something powerful. You're serious about changing your mind. You're not like most people who quit halfway. You stayed, you learned, you grew. Now I ask you one thing. If this video gave you even one moment of clarity, even one truth you'll carry forward, even one lesson you'll apply starting today, subscribe to the channel, turn on the bell, share this video with someone who needs it, because this channel isn't just about learning, it's about awakening your power, one video at a time. And we're only just beginning. I'll see you in the next one.